Divorce Talk Radio does not give therapeutic advice. The topics discussed are for informational purposes only. If you are in need of therapy, please consult a licensed professional in your own state. Welcome to our show. This is Emily. I'm a grief coach, and my co-host, Kevin McCarthy.
Hello.
Welcome, Kevin.
Welcome. Thank you, Emily. Thank you for having me here as your co-host. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for being here. So tonight we are talking about the outcomes of friendships and who your true friends are from divorce, which I think is a very big topic because people come and go, and friends choose one spouse or the other. Doesn't seem to be like a lot of sharing of friends.
No. Sometimes friendships could go sour.
Yes, very quickly.
And then you will find out also on the other side, the flip side, who your friends really are.
Exactly. Who, who show up and support you 100% and really are there for you.
So while you're going through a divorce or even thinking about getting one and thereafter, you're still going to need the coaching to get through things and possible counseling. You might even have to see your doctor for a prescription of some kind. However, I feel some of the best medicine that's out there, besides prayer, is friendship.
Yes.
And friendships, Emily, and to our listeners, I just can't tell you how wonderful they've been to me. They've been the best medicine for me. Mm-hmm. Praying and having friends. I can't, and both come literally at no cost.
Right.
You know, and sometimes you could earn a friendship quickly. Sometimes they're off, it takes a longer period of time. Mm-hmm. And in my case, I just can't tell you how my friends came to my aid. Mm-hmm. And this is how I really put a number of my friendships to the test.
Sure.
How are they going to stand by Kevin McCarthy? Will they do it? And they were all, of course, at first shocked to hear this. Mm-hmm. Not Kevin, not our Kevin. No, what the heck's going on? To sum it up, then we'll discuss this further, Em, because I know you have your stories too, that out of all of the friends, I've been very blessed to have so many friends in my life. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have your circle of influence, your closer friends, maybe secondary friends and tertiary friends. Right. But even the tertiary ones, I can't tell you, all of them except maybe two friends that I've known for years, actually came to bat for me. Mm-hmm. And I was disappointed. That was the disappointing part. However, 99% of my other friends were all there. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, don't worry about these two.
Right.
Not to mention all of the new people you're going to meet in your life.
Right.
That are going to be a big part of your life. Exactly. And there were some of my friends that I talked to once or twice a year. They all came to the plate for me when I needed help. Right. What can I do? Do you need a place to live? Do you need some money? What's going on? Mm-hmm. All of that. So I really learned about who my friends really are.
Exactly.
And how they're going to stand by you.
Mm-hmm. And I really believe that people are put in your life for a reason.
Absolutely.
And sometimes taken out. I had a very good friend from high school who was married and had kids, and so the four of us would have fun together. We would get together occasions, with my former spouse and, the husband and wife. And I actually knew them both before I was married. And so they just became a part of our family. They were almost like an extended family to us, but they were friends. So with the whole divorce, you have people who choose sides, so to speak.
Sure.
Or the lack of. Trying, what their motives are, I don't know. But I was burnt very badly by this person. And I decided, she stabbed me in the back a couple of times. And I thought she was my friend. And I decided very early on, in order to keep my sanity and keep on the right path, that I wasn't going to have anyone in my life who wasn't 100% for me.
Now, with this person that you found out later was stabbing you in the back, you were telling her various things about the divorce, what you're going through, some of your feelings, and then somehow it got back to your ex,
yes.
Or is that
right?
how she stabbed you in the back?
I actually tested her, I told her a little bit of what was going on, not enough to like really hurt me because I kind of had already had an idea that she was kind of like this.
Sure.
Yes, and it did get back to my former spouse. So, which entails got back to me. So I knew that she was not someone I could trust.
No.
And that's another thing that you need when you're dealing with grief is you need some people who you can trust.
Absolutely. 100%. Not halfway, forget it.
No, and that's where I made that decision and I didn't look back because I was going through what I was going through and I didn't need someone else's drama to add to what I was going through. I was going through enough. And so with that being said, I know it probably sounds bad, but I kind of wrote her off. I'm like, okay, if you're not going to be behind me 100% and you're going to be wishy-washy, I don't want anything to do with you. Because that just adds more grief and drama and all of that to the situation, which you don't need when you're going through the depths of divorce. And, you know, I have a child, so dealing with that and being a newly single parent, learning all of that new stuff again, you know, it's you don't need that extra burden of, oh, can I trust her? So I just decided not to have her as a friend.
Just curious, just fast forward here during your whole divorce. Are you friends with this friend anymore, or is it totally, did anything get patched back together, or she made any attempts?
No.
To reach out?
She has not attempted to reach out to me whatsoever. We were actually at an event together last year, and we had seating arrangements, and I sat next to her.
Okay.
But I was nice to her. I didn't give her any idea that I didn't care for what she was doing. I was pleasant with her, even though I didn't really want to be next to her.
Right. So,
yeah. But that's how I've grown too in the couple of years since I've been divorced. I've been divorced 3 years, so that was a growing experience for me too. To kind of, okay, this is a situation I'm not used to. I'm in a room next to someone that I don't trust.
Right.
I'm not going to divulge any information that I don't want getting out. So.
And I guess that's what we learn, and our listeners too, and those I'm sure could feedback, probably listening to us right now, saying, I know exactly what those two are talking about because of this person, that person, and so forth. Where that you do, especially during the divorce, because there's so much misinformation, lies, deceiving, going back and forth. You really do need to know who you're speaking with.
Right.
And if you are speaking with someone that you're unsure of or might get information back or whatever the case is, not that you're doing anything really wrong, but things, again, are misinformed and translated wrong, is that you really have to watch what you say.
Right.
And choose your close friends.
You do. And I've actually have been the same person. I don't know how true it is, but it came back that I had gone somewhere to someone's wedding and it wasn't true, and they told my former spouse that, and he was angry about that. So it's even creating it's still creating.
See, there it is.
Trouble.
And you weren't even there.
And I wasn't even there. So it made him accuse me of doing something that I didn't even do, which is just a whole another drama, which, of course, who needs that? But on the other side, having friends that are 100% behind you, I have so many friends just like you that have stepped up to the plate, so to say, and really have been through thick and thin with me, and meeting you through... Right.
That's how we got together, was getting together with another group.
Right. And it's just, since then we've been friends ever since.
Absolutely, I know. Which I guess it plays off of what I mentioned earlier about how you could meet new friends.
Right, exactly.
New friendships start. Oh my gosh, how many people we got to meet and know. Now we're just, and we're all hanging tight with one another.
Right, and we have each other's backs.
Yes.
If someone needs to talk, you can call them, or, hey, do you have a few minutes? Let me throw something off you because I want to make sure that I'm on the right track. You know? And having friends that will give you that feedback, that honest feedback, is priceless.
Absolutely.
Because then you know you're on the right track, or you're not. Maybe you need to get back on track. And that's great too. And kind of along with the group that we were in, it was just, I think we all connected because we had this in common. And one of our other group members and friends also had kids, so her and I really connected on another level because we had so much in common.
Sure.
Our stories were very similar.
Right.
So, and I think that helps with the healing process as well. And I have actually developed a divorce recovery workshop that I offer for individuals who are getting divorced or are divorced. And I think that's a good way for people to come and get their what I call aha moments. Because I think a lot of times you feel like you're alone. You don't feel like you're the only one that's getting a divorce, which is not true.
No.
Because I know I felt like that. I don't know about you, but I was the only one of my friends that was getting divorced, and then,
right.
So in a group setting like that, I think it's very important because then you do make that connection with people. You need that human connection and that emotional connection because you're not the only one out there.
No, we might think we are, and we felt it, did we not?
We did feel it.
And we know divorce has been going on since, day one.
Right.
But who would have thought it would have happened to us? So what do we have to do? Well, that's where our friends come in at.
Exactly.
And the importance of our friends. And you could always call a good friend no matter what time of day.
Right, exactly.
Even there's no counselor, no coach, no one around. Who do you want to call? That friend.
Right.
And that's why everyone should make friends. And on my headstone, I think I'll have it done. I put down a hello goes a long way because so many times I say hello, hi, how you doing? Friendships last for years just because I said hello to someone and they became my best buddy, especially during troubled times like I would be with them.
Exactly. Or a smile.
A smile, yes. Yes, sure.
Work up someone's day. That can go a long way too. And it's just sharing that special little something with someone can really change someone's day.
Oh, it just a little conversation on the upbeat or someone. Well, when I used to work with this other company, I used to do traveling quite a bit. So I get to know a lot of people, a lot of strangers going through airports, buses, and rent-a-cars, and you name it. And every once in a while, you'll run into someone that you'll say hello to, and you start chatting, have a few things in common, then the divorce topic comes up.
Yes.
Well, that person was your buddy for maybe that 2 hours or that split moment, but that made you feel good.
Right. Because you made that connection.
Yes.
Yes. And so I think that's very important.
Which you mentioned about friends come in at certain times and then they go out, but they're here for a certain period of time.
Right. Exactly. And there are certain other friends who you don't talk to on a regular basis, but if you need something and you're in a crisis or an emergency, that they will be there for you.
Right.
The best that they can. And you just know that they're there, and that just is a wonderful feeling. And it helps. It helps knowing that they're there.
And I might never win the lottery. Never win the lottery. Never win $1 million. But I tell you this, and I said it 1,000 times. I probably told you 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 times again, especially for our listeners. But is that I did win the lottery when it comes to my friends. I made I hit it so big. It's like, thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. You really gave me a good group of friends, Mm-hmm. And, of course, I've helped them and will help them if need be. But just to show you how much friendships are really worth.
Right.
And to me, they're worth more than anything. Mm-hmm. More than anything.
Right.
And then this is during the divorce process. This is where you find out. And unfortunately, you have to put friendships to the test.
You do. Unfortunately, and that's where the troublesome comes out because if you don't trust them or you can't trust them, why would you want to still be friends with them?
And what a good friend should do is, even though you want that support, the pat on the back, you're doing the right thing, you also want to hear, hey, Kevin, hey, Em, maybe you should look at it this way. You want that other type of feedback.
Right.
You don't always want you're doing a good job.
Right, exactly. You want that constructive criticism.
Yes.
Because, okay, maybe I'm not in the right way. Maybe I need to be changed a little bit. Because I caught myself I used to talk a lot about what was going on to get validation from my friends of what was going on with my divorce.
Which is fine to update them.
Yes.
That's
but
okay.
It got to a point where it was like, okay, you really need to stop because it's negative. You know, it's one thing to talk about, oh, this is going so much better or in a positive way. But when you're talking about it and just rehashing everything and about the past, it doesn't help. And you know what? Your friends get sick of it.
They do.
They get sick of it. And I had a friend, lovely friend, and I'm so glad she did. She's like, you know what? We need to move forward.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh,
sure.
Okay, I didn't realize I was kind of stuck. But that happens. That happens because you don't realize it.
Well, the whole world is falling upon you.
Yes, absolutely.
So every minute of the day is spent thinking about what's going to happen next, you know, the next court date, who said what about this, or all this. Again, I'll use the word misinformation or the term on it because there was plenty of it to go around.
Right.
But that's what friends do, is
Yes.
that. And I've corrected a few of my friends as they corrected me on certain topics and certain things throughout the years. Of course, I'm older than you are, so I have more friends, more friendship. I got out, you know, depending on your work situation. That's why I've been so blessed. And some of my friends go back to, well, I don't think they call it grammar school anymore. I think it's elementary, I think is what it is. But down to my grammar school days, I still have a couple of friends from kindergarten.
Sure.
You know, and then the ones you grow up through the latter part, 6th, 7th, 8th grade and through high school. Oh, I still got quite a few of those. And these are the ones that really know you,
Right.
especially when it comes to your neighbors. The
Right.
people that know, you know, no way, you know, Kevin's not this guy.
Right. Right.
No way. How can, no way, you know.
Right.
So that's where you really got the support
Yes.
that money just cannot buy.
Right. Well, and there's some friends that have been with me since before. Like, they've seen me in my marriage, and now they see me now, and they're like, I cannot believe what a transformation you've made. You know, so even that is really great to hear from my friends, you know. So...
Which is what we touched on in our previous show here on Divorce Talk Radio, was that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, light at the end of the tunnel.
And how we do change and evolve.
You have to. You have to. I'm always growing personally, and that's the only way that life can get better, is learning how to become a better person. And with friends, they help you do that.
That's right. That's one of the best medicines, friendship.
Yes.
There's actually one person that we do know, just to maybe go off topic but still staying within the realm of things, Emily, that the person was married a short period of time.
Yes.
Been through the counseling, the coaching, and different groups, and still cannot get out of that realm of losing the marriage.
Right.
Although I don't think it was really his fault. It could have been maybe more her fault. But the point is, at this point, it's been years.
Right.
You have to move on. And I hate to
Right.
use the term get over it because it's a tough thing to
It
get
is
over.
a tough thing.
But in this case, you know, he wasn't married long.
Right. Right.
And we have our stories. I'm almost for 17 years, you for 10, and some of the other ones 12 years. You know, it's like, you know, you could easily move on.
Right.
We can't.
Well, some people, it's just not as easy.
No.
You know, and I believe that we are given what we can handle. I really, truly believe that. And sometimes it's just harder for people to get over losses, and because it is a loss, it is a grief. But he just probably hasn't learned the right tools to do that.
I know we certainly tried, and yet,
Yes,
but
we
the
did.
person has to have that open mind,
Right.
and
That's just
has
it.
to change.
And that's 100%. You have
That's
to be
it.
willing, and you have to be open to try new things and to grow yourself and meet the goals that you want to meet. You can't half do it. You have to do it wholeheartedly. Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
And Emily, that's where your business, Freedom from Heartache, steps in at, because they're coming in with an open mind. Now they really need to get over things, to move on. And again, I hate to use that term, get over, because you never really do. But you have to move on, and this is where your advice and teachings and what you learn come into play.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yes, and I give them the tools to carry on and move forward and take it with them, because they can take their tools with them and use them at home.
Because you'll need them at home. You'll need
Yes,
them no matter
you
if you're
do.
traveling,
You
whatever
do.
you're doing, you're going to have to need that to
Because
rely on.
It's life. Life happens. Situations come up that will bring that anxiety back. And using those tools will help.
Absolutely. There was one friend of mine where his divorce was totally different from mine.
Okay.
Some of the same aspects, you were shocked, the papers were there, or else you were thrown out of your home on a lie.
Right.
Which is all true. It's all documented. It's all true. And yet, okay, the similarities are there, but the situation is different. Their kids were gone. I still had kids. It was the whole thing.
Sure.
And then this is where one of my friendships went sour now, where he was trying to tell me to get over it. It's different. Well, no, wait a minute. Hang on, buddy.
Right.
Some divorces are the same, but I think that most of them are different.
They are different.
They have different aspects to it.
And the people are different. Yes.
Now, just because you got along with your ex and settling things and so forth, congratulations, great for you. It's not happening for me.
Right.
Because this person wants this and I'm trying to defend whatever I can.
Right.
And that's where friendships tend to fall apart because he thought I should have been able to move on, to get over it. No. Yours took a year. Mine took almost 2.5. So don't...
Right.
And I'm doing all what I can just to stay sane. And his friendship did come in handy a number of times. I really have to say that, and I thanked him numerous times. I helped him too. But still, it was the point of then he just didn't get it. He didn't. And that's where, with your business and with us, we know. We still have that compassion.
Right.
We still know we need our kick in the butt to get going.
Right.
But we still have that compassion and understanding.
Right, exactly.
And some friends have it, I guess, and some friends don't. Some friends could have it more, and some friends might not have it at all.
Right. Oh, there are some people that don't have an idea what it's like, and so they're just poo-poo. Okay, well, like you said, get over it. Well, no, people can't get over it. It's not that easy. It takes, it does take time, but it takes working with someone like myself, a coach, a grief coach, but it doesn't have to take a long time.
No.
At all. I one of my new clients, I've had 2 sessions with her, and she's done fabulous. So
Good to
she's
hear.
come a long way in just 2 sessions.
And that's where friends and counseling and coaching all come into play.
Right.
I think on one of the shows here on Divorce Talk Radio you did with Brad, you mentioned, and this is true, and I had people tell me this, that when someone dies, you know the person's dead. The person's not coming back.
Right.
Yes, there's going to be grief and horrible, no matter if it's your parents or spouse, depending how close, you'll grieve more than others. But it's over.
Right.
Well, with a divorce, took me 2.5 years, and you're still reliving a number of these things.
Exactly.
With you and some of the friends, you have children involved.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's more so.
Right.
So that can continue.
Well,
so
it does continue until they're at least 18.
That's right.
We have contact sometimes twice a week, but I've worked on myself, and I've done the tools that I suggest and I teach, and we actually have been getting along and having conversations. We talk. We're being co-parents, which I think is fabulous.
Right.
And I'm really excited about that because that's new. That this is a new time in our life with Gabe, and I want him, my son Gabe, and I want him to know what it's like to have 2 parents who get along.
Well, with friendships, now there was some of your friends too that during the process of when you have to, what's the term? Pass the kid to the other spouse, whatever.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I don't know. That's how I always refer to it. But again, this is where friendships come and play at, because I'm sure they were there for you, or they maybe have went with you. So there was no altercations and everything was fine and pleasant. Where your son went with his father.
Right.
And then that was it, and yet that friend was there with you to console you. Don't worry about it. You'll see your son in a couple of days.
Right.
So again, that's where friendships, they're all over the place. They come in handy even if you want to go shopping with someone. Exactly. You're in the dumps.
Exactly.
So,
right.
But I guess that's all the importance of friendship. So
yes.
I'm sure you and I and everyone have friends, folks.
Yes.
Make friends.
Make sure that they're true friends.
Yes, and then you'll realize who's the one who are the ones you can't trust, and maybe some you can't, but they're still nice people, and maybe you still want to go out with a drink with them, or go out to dinner, or whatever the activity might be. So that's fine, but have your group of friends. You're going to have some closer and some not so close, but that's why you have the group. That's the group.
Exactly.
So is there anything else, Em, you want to add to friendships? Because we all know the importance and the must.
Yes, I think it's a positive thing to have good friends to rely on.
And then make new ones.
And make new ones.
Isn't that great? How many new friends do we have?
Oh, we have
Emily,
so many new friends.
From all different angles that came in. Even some of my friends that, just briefly here, that, heard about.
Right.
Kevin, what happened? Kevin is as good as gold.
Right.
When she mentioned that to me, and I almost started to cry. It's like, here, this person valued. I know she was distant, but she came so much to the fore that she took me in her world of music, in her world, in her family. She just took me in on the whole thing.
Sure.
So some of the other friends did that, so you talk about losing a couple. I gained about 50 to 60 more. I mean,
that's so good.
But, so that's it, folks. Friendships.
Yes,
friendships. And then, of course, any questions? Freedom from Heartache.
Yes.
Emily McGrath. So it's freedomfromheartache.com.
Mm-hmm.
That is your website. So,
yes. All right.
Thanks for joining us here.
Yes, thank you for listening, and thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Emily, for having your co-host here and having me be your co-host here on Divorce Talk Radio.